Hi friends, welcome to another video and welcome to the unpacking, unveiling, first thoughts, first try of my Tomoe River paper notebooks. This is my first time ever purchasing, having Tomoe River paper on my hands. I would have at most gotten a letter from a fountain pen friend with Tomoe River paper, but I've never owned anything with it. So today we're gonna take a deep dive into how I feel about it. We're gonna test it with some fountain pens or a fountain pen, and I hope you stay a while with me as we do that. So I have two. They're obviously both the same. I don't like to ever buy one notebook at a time because this will be done in no time once I start using it. This is by the brand is Sakae TP. Sakae. It has this sleeve at the front, or mini sleeve at the front. Guess we can take that off. Tomoe River notebook A6 5mm grid, made in Japan. I was asked on Instagram if this is the old or new Tomoe River paper. I have no idea because, like I said, it's my first time using it, so I don't know what's old and what's new. But the person, and I told them I didn't know, and then they said, well, yeah, it looks like it's the new one. So here is the grid. A very grey, slightly faint grid. I like it. It's not too dark, which I appreciate. But it is darker slightly than the light bluish grey that we see with Midori. So it is slightly darker than that, but I still like it. I have a square grid notebook that's even darker than this, so I appreciate this a lot. The feel of the paper, it's thin, but it's not onion paper thin or like Bible paper thin. Slightly thicker than that. And a nice feel. I can imagine when something like watercolor paints gets to this, which I love to use to decorate pages. I can imagine how it crinkles up and then how it feels over time. I'm just here gushing over paper. like really. Anyway, so this is the feel of the paper. Thin but not too thin. Square grid, 5mm. It has a total of 160 pages, which means 80 sheets. I was hoping it was slightly like more pages, but I'm happy with this at the same time. It's kind of why I bought two, because I go through 100 and something pages quite fast. So let's do what I think you're here for, a paper test. It is my first time using, like I said, Tomoe River, so it's my first impression as well. I'm gonna just write a little cover intro. This notebook belongs to, and we'll see everything from bleed through, ghosting, and all of the above. So really quickly, at the center, this is a Kaweco broad. The ink is the blue ink that the cartridge comes with. It is what it is. It's still Kaweco ink, so pretty good quality ink. And let's just see what it looks like when we start to write. I'll just start in the middle. This ink is so like wet, which I love. I love that it's not a dry ink. So I just put this notebook belongs to me, and let's give it a little bit of time to dry and you'll see the verdict. Wow, nothing. Very, 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 like almost you can't see it unless you look really close, unless I go like nose touching the paper type of close. No bleeding, no ghosting, no bleed through, no ghosting. Very impressed. I guess this is why everybody loves this paper. Wow. Very impressive. Very impressive. I'm in shock. I'm really impressed. This is what everybody loves about this paper. Amazing. I love that. I love that. You can hardly tell that I wrote at the front. That is really cool. Very impressed. Very, 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 very impressed. So, I mean, should I write a bit more? What do you all think? I mean, I know what I'll do. Let's try something with some dip pens. Have a little fun with a dip pen and see how the paper holds up there as well. Okay. So I'm going to use a pen BBS ink and my dip pen. I got a dip pen set for my birthday. And I've been in love with using it ever since. I haven't mastered what it means to use this. There is a technique and an art absolutely to using these, but when I do get it right, I love it. So we're just gonna go to the back. I like to do my writing samples either at the first page or at the back, and we're gonna start with a nice little quote, I guess, about writing. So there we have it. Let's give it a second to dry, and then we'll see how it holds up on the flip side. Well, we can see now. I'm a little bit impatient and excited to see what this is like. So what I've found with the dip pens is it starts off extremely wet because a lot of the ink is still on the nib. Like the ink sort of sticks to the nib at the beginning, so you get a large pooling of the ink, and then as you start to write, it starts to really fade a bit more and not be as wet and heavy as at the start. So this is the true look of the ink versus this where it's extremely heavy. Let's see what it looks like at the back. A bit of ghosting, but I expected it. This is a 1 point something or possibly 2 point something nib dip pen. A very wide, very large size nib, so the writing, as you could tell, and all of that is very big. So I kind of expected it to show through a bit more. But with your general, typical, everyday run-of-the-mill fountain pen, which we tested out at the beginning, it holds up extremely well. I cannot see anything from a top-down view. I can't see anything unless I really squint, which who does, you know? and I don't mind the little bit of ghosting that shows up here. I actually, weirdly enough, I kind of like a little bit of ghosting, and then when I flip through a completed journal, I like the look of seeing a little bit of what's on the other side. It gives it a very lived-in kind of vibe, like you really went to town on your writing in your notebook when you can see all that. So I am not too fussy, but it is faint. The regular fountain pen, non-existent. A heavy ink with a heavy nib, a big nib, and a lot of ink, such as with a dip pen, a bit, but generally none. So that's my writing experience with my Tomoe River paper notebook. One of these was about $10 if I round up, $9 something, $10 on Amazon. I would say give it a go. You will get it very quickly. I was amazed how fast I got these. I got these notebooks shipping from Amazon Japan faster than I've gotten a lot of things shipping from state to state. I'll leave that right there. So the shipping is amazing, quick, efficient. I got this within 5 days of ordering it from Amazon Japan. So very impressed, and I hope you too consider getting one. So far I'm happy with what it looks like and the writing experience with it, and I hope you will join me for another video. Consider subscribing if you enjoyed the video. Give it a thumbs up so I'll know what types of videos you all are enjoying on the channel. It helps me out a lot with my analysis of my content, and I will see you next time. Bye.